Our business idea is called The Nest, and my name is Mackenzie.
I'm Antoinette.
I'm Anna.
My name is Emil. And I'm Andreas.
Okay, so what The Nest is, it's a community network of students and professionals utilizing a common workspace and dining space. We'll also be working a lot with the local businesses and partnerships. Okay, so our team, why this would work for our project and why we're good for this is because we are comprised of 5 motivated students who are working to create better environments for students. We have the knowledge, we are students, we understand the target market. And our members complement each other well. We have a variety of disciplines, a variety of knowledge, so we fill in the knowledge gaps that maybe one person would have alone. We also have 3 undergraduate students and 2 graduate students. We have all knowledge of globalization, so that's going to help us when we try and expand our business. And we also have 4 members that have former experience in running startups and entrepreneurial businesses. 2 have helped to actually start startup businesses and get them off the ground, and then 2 of us have also worked with local businesses and entrepreneurs.
So to illustrate some of the problems that students have when they are trying to study, we have 2 lovely students up here. So on the left we have the lovely Brittany, and on the right we have Brad. Brittany is your American student, and she loves to study in cafes. So for instance, if she's at UNC, which she will be, she's a student at UNCG. She's studying to get her business degree, her master's in business. And she would go to Tate Street or to Tate Street Coffee, it's coffeeology. But usually she can't find an outlet, or when she does go, usually her favorite spot's taken or taken. And Brad, he is in Norway, and he likes to study in the library, but he can't find his own quiet space to study. And there's no specific group space if you wanted to study in a group. And so though they're in different areas, they both face the same problems of a lack of study places, lack of group rooms, noisy roommates. The university and the library also have limited opening hours, and the location isn't convenient to find a place to study.
Okay, so what we have created is The Nest. It's work, eat, repeat in that order. And it's a cafe where students can come in and study either individually or in groups, and they can relax and network and also enjoy healthy and nutritious foods and drinks. It's a student-centered coffee shop, which means that we want to be located where students are, of course. That would be on campus. And we would offer membership deals, which would be our main revenue, besides the revenue from sales in the coffee shop. And the membership would include access to distinct silent study rooms and group rooms where you can host meetings or presentations if you're in a startup or if you're starting up your own company as a student. And in the membership deals, we were looking at creating value for the students to actually join, and have events throughout the year with guest speakers and small career fairs, and trying to just tailor to each student and their price sensitivity.
Okay. And then we also have some aspects that set us apart from our competitors, what's in the market and our advantages. We're going to be open 24/7, so that's going to help students with their busy schedules. Also, we have food and drink there, so you can get something to eat and study. You don't have to leave. That cuts out some of the time that you could be wasting. It's also going to be close to campus, so that's going to help people that live on campus. They may be lacking in transportation, so they can get there easily without a car or anything like that. It's also going to cater to people that may be living off campus and maybe have to travel. They can go there in between classes and get some work done and also eat, so it's an all-in-one kind of thing. And also we're going to wait. We've decided that we're going to wait to start different locations until the timing is right. So far we've chosen Greensboro and Norway because we know a lot about the market, but the timing is going to be very particular for us. We want to make sure we have the right location for the students that's going to present the most advantages. We also have a local focus. We're going to focus on students, and we're going to use them to work within our company. That's going to cut some costs for us. We may also provide some internships for them so that they can get some experience, maybe if they want to run businesses or they're interested in entrepreneurship. Also, we're going to present some of their talents through our products and merchandise. Some students have talents in art, so we could display their artwork, or maybe through our products, graphic design and things like that. Also, our food is going to come from local vendors, and we also are going to be partnering with local businesses, maybe to present speakers for the students. And then also, we're going to be hopefully joining with maybe like some campus career services. And then also, as we spoke earlier, we have some campuses have campus incubators. And so that would help with the students if they are interested in entrepreneurship and as they're becoming professionals and as they're going through their education.
So in order to actually understand what the concept is, we sketched up a little sketch here, 2D, two-dimensional here, where you just have an open public cafe where everyone can come in, join, eat, dine, relax, and just work in groups if that's what they want. And then you have a membership area, which is accessible through membership only, where you can come in and you can book online, you can book your desk at certain times and come in and just sit down and study at the times that you are available for study. And your group rooms or just different presentation rooms, and that you also could book, or we could have events in. And this is how it could look like in 3D. But it's all about, as she said earlier, location and just waiting for the right timing and waiting for the right offices or space to open. Because location is just really key for getting people in and letting them in on our premises.
Okay, so now to talk about our market and our target customer. As we have said, they're college students. College students worldwide, there's 150 million, and this is a growing percentage. So we have a huge market, and we have a lot of potential to expand. Students on average spend about 5 hours per day allocating their times towards study and spending in class, and that's a huge chunk of your day. And so you want to be in a good environment, and you want to be somewhere that addresses all of your needs, and you don't want to be moving around because that's a large part of your day. Students are also price sensitive. In the US, a lot of students are paying off loans, and so they want a product and they want a place that's really going to be efficient and where they're going to spend their money the best way. Students are also concerned for their future, so they like to invest in products that they know that it's going to have some added value to them. So by us hosting events led by businesses and entrepreneurs, and we're going to offer them internships, this is adding value to them. And they also have a preference for proximity. A lot of students either live in dormitories or they live on off-campus houses or apartments. So since they're price sensitive, we have a preference for going to places that are close to us and that are going to best meet our needs in one location, which is what the Nest addresses. So for our initial locations, as we said, Greensboro would be the first one. Within a 5-mile radius in Greensboro, there's 31,000 students. That's a huge market potential there. And then in Bergen, Norway, there's 30,000 students. Again, another huge market. And we all have existing knowledge of these markets because we know the behaviors, we know what the preferences are of students. And also we know the competitors, so we have a lot of knowledge about our competitors, and this business addresses our needs, so that's why we're so passionate about it.
Okay, there's some competitors, because normally you would say like, university have all this. They have libraries where you can sit down and you can work. You have student cafeterias where you can buy food, or you have coffee shops where you can also sit down. But all of these have some limitations. Like you see, if you go to the library, it's maybe poor atmosphere in some libraries. It's a bit busy because someone is may work like in group here, and someone work individually here. So there's like, they have different interests. Because some want to work silently, but the others want to discuss, so that's the problem. So we want to make an environment which answers to these questions. And yeah, as you can see, libraries, that it depends on on the university. Here, the library closes at around 8. The same for the group rooms. We want it to be accessible all day, 24/7. And that's like one of the most important things with the Nest. It's accessible for all 24/7. Then you have the cafeteria, because you want, when you're at the library, for example, you have to go to another place to eat and then go back again. So you want to limit the time you use between eating and working. So that's why we have work, eat, repeat, because it's really, we want to like make an environment where you can do both. Yeah, and as I said, coffee shops, they all often lack like technology or internet. They may have it, but it may be limited to 30 minutes, and it's slow. It's not comfortable to sit in a cafe all day. So all of these things is what the Nest will focus on. And if we see, why is this actually a good opportunity? Well, there are already a lot of students, but there's supposed, or within 2025, the market is supposed to double. We want to satisfy the customer needs of higher quality study places with better availability. We want to respond to the trend of buying local. Students are getting more and more focused on buying local products, biological products. This is a thing we want to emphasize in each of the Nest cafeterias. They want to be specialized for their own local area. And it's tailored to a fast-paced lifestyle with a high demand for accessibility. And final point, why is this a good opportunity? Well, we're an international team. We're one team, one dream. Thank you very much.
Opportunity is always external, so it cannot be internal. So in this case, it would probably be a strength rather than an opportunity. You're going to render a service to universities by helping their students studying and getting more successful. Why wouldn't universities be your partners as well?
We have thought about that. Actually, partnering with universities in the US, I know they have something called flex cards. You can probably talk a little bit more about that. But you can either have your membership on your student card, and you can pay your full 6-month membership when you pay your tuition. And when you're paying your tuition, 100 euros isn't much compared to the whole tuition. So that would be easier to sell it. Yeah, so we haven't really or looked too much into that, but that's certainly an area that we want to expand further and also do some market research too.
Yeah, maybe also go for subsidies from universities.
Yep. Yeah. And at least we just got to convince them that we're a service that actually does add value for their students, and since there's a lack of at least here, availability of libraries being closed at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by the number concerning future students. The number of students is about to double.
We saw and read an article in the Chronicle that it was supposed to double, but I mean, you don't know. But I mean, a lot of the growth would be in areas that don't have that much students as of now, like third world countries and countries that aren't that well educated. And by creating like a global brand as the Nest, you can even use your membership if you travel abroad and you have a local Nest in every area. So yeah, just creating that community.
But that probably wouldn't be the case in the US or Norway.
More students? No, that would be worldwide, but if you look at Norway and use the US, there would probably be less growth. Yeah.
In the US right now, we're also kind of like experiencing a recession. So a lot of people are being laid off. So they have to go, maybe they have to go back to school to get another education. They're changing their route. So that's going to be part of that number.
Yeah, that's a different group of students who are more like old people. And, okay, otherwise I think you did a very good job. So today we're not going to measure timing for a presentation. But of course, we will also evaluate you on that for the finals. So if it is 15 minutes, don't make it more than 15 minutes. Thank you very much. There's now probably more.
Is there the rest of that?
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought you just kind of concluded.
You're not going to make it that easy.
We can
It felt like you concluded.
It's not just questions, but
We welcome
No,
more
here, just give us
questions.
feedback. Yeah, please.
First of all, you did a very good job of presenting. Nice job. And I think I know the answer to this question. Your revenue generators are going to be. Tell me. Revenue
Yeah,
generators,
it's from sales directly from the coffee shops. That's
Yeah.
what we generate, and membership deals and tying students for actually signing up for a membership and getting access to the facilities that they can.
So you know that the revenue that you're going to generate from the sale of the goods is going to be minimal.
Yeah.
And the turnover of the tables will always be an issue if that is going to be the focus of your revenue.
Yeah.
So the revenue has to really come from the membership side. But I think it's a great idea to be able to create this type of network around the world where people can have access.
And the cafe area is open to the public. So that's not going to be just limited to memberships. The part that's limited to the memberships is the 24/7 access and then the private study spaces. Because as we showed, the cafe area is separate from the actual study spaces and collaboration rooms. So
think that through from a logistics standpoint, knowing how you operate the K Street and some of these other opportunities that you have. I think that could potentially be a concern there.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of hint, when you do your 2D and 3D drawings of the kitchen, you need to add a back room for your supplies.
We just mocked it up like
we just
2
did
hours
this
ago.
like
It was good though, it was a nice job. Okay, nice, I'm good.
Do you already think about the price of the membership?
we've actually put a survey together and we're going to give it out soon. And we are going to try to get what people are willing to pay for price down. So, but we've discussed it.
Yeah, the problem is that we haven't seen any services like this before, so it's hard to actually know what people are willing to pay for it because it's a product that doesn't know it exists.
Do it backwards. Do your cost. Figure out your cost first. Do your rental spaces, and then build it backwards first. And then you can see whether you can generate a reasonable.
That's why we're gonna wait to define the perfect location to make sure that the lease that we're gonna pay and everything is worth putting it there, and it's gonna match up with our revenues.
Because we know that revenue-wise it would be limited because we're targeting students, but it's also we will also want to just I don't know, be a service provider,
That would help if you follow.
partner up with universities, of course. That'll make it easier. But any other questions,
Mr. Tom?
Brian?
you mentioned that you're going to let this be a venue for maybe student artists to display their work, or let's say you're a student graphic designer and you're advertising your services. Could that be a potential revenue generator as well?
Yes,
Maybe not quite the commission that an art gallery would, but to be able to make a little bit of transactions.
In the cafe section, we're actually going to have how in coffee shops in Greensboro or sometimes other places they have their own personal merchandise. So part of promoting students is there's a lot of student graphic designers who never get to show their work until they get a graphic design job. So they can submit drawings to us that represent our brand, and then we can take them to like a local screen printer and print t-shirts and that be our merchandise. And then also there's also a lot of local potters, so we can get local potters to make mugs specifically for the nest and sell those. So those are revenue streams as well.
The thing is to make it specialized for every location, so you won't find the same in the nest in Greensboro as you find it in Bergen and Norway.
That would be
And that kind of incorporates the local talent and the local.
You can have more trolls in Norway and probably less trolls in
We can even have trolls in the US, because they kind of,
could be a market for trolls in Greensboro. So.
you know. Alright.
Yeah, I wondered, have you thought about maybe differentiate the memberships on when students actually study? Because I know some prefer to study late and some prefer to study early, probably most early.
We thought about in terms of making different memberships. You could come in and you're guaranteed a spot, but you pay a premium for that. If you actually can come in and study every day, you can have a membership that has, you can book a desk, 10 hours a week, and you can have 5 hours a week, and you can just tailor to different ambitions and levels, I guess.
Yeah,
But we haven't really thought about pricing because we have to think about costs and stuff first, so.
and the survey is also going to address that too, because we're going to find out when students study the most and what kind of membership they would prefer, and then that's how we're going to determine what types of memberships to offer.
Yeah, we have to be really careful about the pricing or how we set it up, because if you actually pay for a place to study and you come there and it's full, then I don't know, I would get really mad. So you like have to it has to be available when each student wants it. So.
Logistics.
Yeah, that was what I thought about. If the capacity is full, then it would be a good extra source of revenue to actually attract those who are not studying at peak hours with a special membership for.
Yeah, you can have night time, or you can have daytime, you can weekends, or there's different stuff that you can incorporate. But also in terms of seasonal, there's a lot more students that would want to come in during the end of the semester. But if you tie them in early by saying that a full semester membership grants you access in November and December, that kind of makes them tie in early to know that they have a place when the exam period comes. And then you also can charge them more for the longer membership. But these are all options that we're looking at.
In regard to your 24/7 access, since this is a cafe for students, made by students, I remember you saying that, you try to get some students to work there and things of that sort, just trying to form it all around the students. How will you go about that when we have classes and, who will really oversee it if it's 24/7 when it gets in those late night hours when most students want to sleep and prepare for early morning classes?
Well, you have, I don't know how it works in Norway, but with us, you have, Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, and then Tuesday, Thursday. So some people aren't always going to be in class at the same time. So, maybe somebody wants to study at night one night, or, maybe somebody likes to stay up on certain nights, or they can stay up on certain nights. So they would work on those nights.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who study well into the AM, and because they don't have classes until 4 p.m. So they just stay at home and study, but I know that a lot of them would rather be at a coffee shop in an environment that motivates them. So we're answering that. And we'll have someone on staff, maybe a student intern on staff all night to make sure that the facility is still running well.
So the actual cafe would be open maybe from, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. till late at night, and then during the night you could have vendors and coffee machines that are operated by students. In terms of the cafe, it's limited opening hours.
Okay, I know that our library actually is open 4 or 5, and I've never had a problem finding a spot or finding a group spot. We have different floors that do different things. And so when you're talking about opening in Greensboro, what I was wondering, I know the cafe, it is an interesting idea because we don't have food there, but we do have vending machines, and we do have, places to print and such like that. So, when I'm looking at my limited budget and everything, and I see this, I'm like, that's a cost that I can cut because I know I can get it for free. What would you do to attract, what else could you do to attract me as a customer? Because it seems like this would be the first thing I would cut in, I do have a library to go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll look to into different locations. All locations wouldn't be like that. In Belgium, it wouldn't be like that, of course. There's limited opening hours of the library, and also in Norway, that's the case. But I guess it won't fit for everyone, but of course we will try to work our way around and find out what actually students want in such a facility.
And you live on campus, so I know a lot of commuter students, parking is an issue. So whenever they come to campus, they don't have a place to park, and so then they have to haul their book bag all the way to the library, and then it's just not a good atmosphere in the library. To me, it's not. I have a lot of friends who we never study in the library because it's just bright lights, and it's just not a good, motivating atmosphere sometimes. So for commuter students, we would have like a parking lot in Greensboro, so that would be an incentive just to come and park and walk in and you're guaranteed.
And then also in the peaks of the semester, you definitely don't have a guaranteed spot in that library. I mean, you're going in and you're going from floor to floor to floor to try and find a spot. You're wasting time. You know, if you know, I mean, we talked about having a site where we could, you could book online and see the availability. So if you know you've got a spot and you can go, you're not wasting as much time.
And if you can add it when you pay your school tuition, you want like, okay, this is just a little bit more, so you won't think about it because it just goes into your loan. If you can partner up with the school, that you sign up for a 6 months or 1 year membership, you won't necessarily think about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So this time I'm going to say thank you, and you can really leave.
Okay. Thank you.